All right, so welcome back. This is part two of understanding how to trade within your zones, okay? So, what I did was after we made part one, I took away all of the lines that I had made prior. I hid them in the back of this chart. And you can do that on TradingView when you set your zones if you don't want to have them cluttering up your chart. So, what I did here is I left the trade zones that we're going to be moving from this area to this area. And as you can see, price is vastly approaching our supply area here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put sell, oh goodness, sorry. I'm going to go ahead and put sell zone here so we know this, so you understand exactly what's happening. And then I'm going to go ahead and put buy zone in our yellow area. All right, buy zone. All right, so now that we're here, okay, what we want to do is we are looking for price to come into this area and show us one of two things. Either it's going to show us some exhaustion and come right back down to this zone, hopefully, or it's going to break through the zone, or it's going to consolidate and go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until it decides what its next situation is going to be. But what we're banking on is that this will mimic this, all right? And I'm going to show you, well, what do you do if price starts to go this way? All right, first of all, you want to wait for a confirmation, all right? So let's go ahead and go to the 4 hours so you can see what's going on. So the 4-hour chart has just a few candles. We're waiting for it to enter the sell zone. All right. So we're just going to wait patiently. But while we're waiting, we want to look at what happened to the last time price entered in this zone. Okay. So let's go to the 30-minute chart. Well, let's go to the 1 hour first. So now we're in the 1 hour chart. So each candle represents 1 hour. And we have maybe 1 or 2 hours before it enters into this sell zone. So we don't want to make any moves yet. We just want to be patient. We may want to set an alert to let us know, well, if price hits here, send that to me, or something of that nature. You want to set your alarm clock. You want to do something because you're going to say in the next 2 hours, I should see some movement happening into this zone. However, it's not there yet, so let's focus on the anatomy of when price enters in a zone, all right? So when you make an entry, you don't make an entry off the 1 hour chart. You make an entry off of the 30-minute or the 15-minute chart. I personally like 15 minutes because I get more detail. However, it's up to you. So for this instance, I'm going to use a 30-minute chart and then scroll down to the 15 and show you the anatomy of what is happening in a zone area. All right. So this, we see here that price entered in the zone, right? And once price entered in the zone, it hung out in the zone area and then came down. It looks very easy. This is a very easy trade. However, it's not easy unless you know what you're looking for and you know what you're looking at. If you don't know, then you're just kind of guessing. And that's not what trading is about. Trading is about being as precise as possible with the information that you're given. All right. So I'm going to make this, let's see, another color. So let's just use blue. All right. So now that we're here, let's go deeper. Okay. So yellow candles mean demand, all right? Purple, supply. You can change it to whatever color you want, but that's what it means on here. So as you can see, there was a lot of demand coming up here with a teeny bit of supply, all right? Now, supply came in, it ate up this area, and then more demand came in, it ate up this area. Then supply came in, ate up this area, demand, and now we're here. So the best way for me to explain what is actually occurring to help you out is when you're in this area, you're looking for supply, all right? When you're making a sell and you're getting prepared to sell, you're looking for supply to eat up the demand, the last bit of demand that came in here. Now this candle right here is called a bullish engulfing candle. The reason why they call it bullish engulfing is because it's a bullish candle, it's going up, and it ate up this candle here, which is one of our bearish candles or supply candles. And engulfing is just you swallowed it up. It got eaten up, all right? The demand ate up the supply, all right? So this is where a lot of traders would have messed up. Oh, it's a bullish, it's a bearish. No, it's a bullish engulfing candle. That means it's going to shoot through the moon. That's great. Let me go ahead and price a buy because of this nice big demand candle. Well, if they would have placed this trade, they would have lost money because as you can see, this came all the way down. So when price enters in this zone, we want to just wait. We want to wait for a clear indication that it's leaving. All right. So let's call this the entry. All right. I'm going to call it the entry here so we can be aware of what's really happening. All right. Entry. All right. So here is our entry candles. All right. So let's get an arrow so we can show exactly what's happening. It's in the zone, all right? The next thing we're waiting for is what is the response after the first candle entered the zone? So let's type in response. Now that is what you're always going to do. You're going to wait for price to enter the zone. Then you're going to wait for the response of what price is going to do after it enters the zone. So this is the response, and I will highlight that for you. So the response is this candle. The response is this candle. And for right now, the response is this candle and this candle. All right, so this is our responses. So basically, we've had 4 responses to this engulfing candle. Let me break it down even further. So you've got a supply candle. Now, if you look at it and you just think about it as a Pac-Man face, all right, it's eating up about 1/3 of that demand. That is not enough for it to drop the price, okay? So it tried to eat all of this up, but there was some demand still available. So this is all it was able to do. It was only able to eat up 1/3 of this. So the next candle that came in to respond to this was a demand candle. And the demand ate up the supply. So, but if you notice, there still was not more demand that came into the market. All right. So we're kind of even right here. Nothing is really happening in this third of this candle. Then the next response is supply. More sellers came into the market. All right. And this time it ate up this much. All right. So look at this. It ate up this much of the candle. Okay. So after that, this candle ate up this much of the candle. So now this is a really good indication that price is probably going to drop, but we still don't have full confirmation, but it's enough for me to think, you know what, I'm willing to risk. I'm really willing to risk this. So I'm going to go ahead and just plus a sell right here. I would sell at this moment, right when it hit underneath. But if you are more conservative and you're a little bit more nervous, wait until supply eats this whole candle up, okay? And that's what happened right here. It closed below the last highest candle. And then what happened after price closed right here. It went down. And this is how much money you would have made, or this is how many pips you would have gotten had you waited conservatively to sell. 81 pips. That is a lot of money, depending on how much you risk, okay? So, boop. All right, so that is what is happening here. Now let's go to a lower time frame so you can see it even deeper. So this is the 15-minute chart. And now you can see it in even more detailed. Supply needs to get eaten up. Now right here, you can see demand's here, demand is here. Supply only ate up this much. Demand came here and ate up all the supply. Now look at how even this is. Look at this. It's amazing, right? Demand and supply next to each other. It literally ate up this whole candle, which is a great sign to sell. Because at this point, there is no more demand in the market. There's nothing else there except to sell at this point. So you could have entered in right here and made even more money than 80 pips. So let's see what would have happened if you would have entered in right at this end. Oh, it goes down further. Hold on. All the way down. 100 pips if you would have saw what was going on the 15-minute chart. So once you get to a selling zone, or once you enter into a zone, all you're waiting for is to watch the Pac-Man game occur. All you're waiting to see is what candle engulfs the rest of the candles. Price enters here. This is the response. The response is I'm eating up all of the demand here. All of this. I want to eat up all the demand that is in this zone. Once you do that, you can place your trade and you can ride that all the way down. And you can do this with every single zone possible. So I'll show you one more so you can see it on the other end. I like when I used to watch videos and I could see it on both ends. So that's what I'm doing here. So let's go to the hour. Let's find a price that's in a demand zone. We just did supply. Now we're going to do demand. Let's see what we got. Here we go. Perfect example is right here. So, based on this area here, we know that this is a buy zone. All right. So price. So we just have this here based on this. Remember, we didn't know it was going to come all the way down here. All right. We're in the 1 hour chart. Price entered the zone. So let's put our little information here. Price entered the zone right here with this purple candle. So I'm going to go down to the 30-minute chart and let's explore what's occurring. All right. Let's do our entry. Entry. Boop. Price entered in right here. All right. Now, remember, based on the information that we've seen here, we know this is a zone, but we have no idea this is going to happen. So that's why it is important to wait until it's confirmed before you make a buy. Because the way this looks, it looks like it's going to keep going down, right? So you don't want to do that to yourself. You just want to wait patiently for some kind of signal that price is going back up. So we wait for this candle to close and it closed below. Now, an amateur trader would say to themselves, okay, it must be about to break the buy zone. I'm going to go in for a sale and I'm going to ride it all the way down here. All right. It made it here. Now I'm going to go down. All right. Same here. The next candle shows up. So they're excited. They're like, oh, yes, more money. But then when they realize price is shooting back up here, they're going to lose all their money. So we're not yet confirmed. We are not yet confirmed. Even though price did exit, and this is really what you could do, I'm going to teach you another trick, okay? Anytime price comes into a zone, you will see a retest. I do not suggest that you place any trades in the zone until you see a retest of the area. And let me explain what I mean by retest. All right. So price comes into the zone. You are a professional trader, so you're waiting for the retest to occur. All right. So price comes into the zone. You're waiting. And now you see demand. And so now you're like, yes, I can go ahead and sell now. Or I can buy at this point because this actually ate up this candle. This demand ate up this supply. And if I see it again, I'm really good to go, right? Wrong. You could if you're an aggressive trader, but look what would happen. Price would come back down and test this area. It would go back up. It would also come back down again. So at this point, you are not really making any money unless you just exit it out of here, which most people are not going to do because they're waiting for it to go to the next level, right? So how do you eliminate this up and down action that is going to occur naturally in the market? The way you do this is you wait for a retest. Price comes into the entry, and now this is your response, all right? We'll type in response. This is the response. So let's use these candles. The response is this. The response is this. The response is this. We still haven't seen our retest. And it shoots out of the area. Now, like I said, you can totally place a buy trade once you see this response occur. However, it's my suggestion to wait for price to come back and retest the area to decide if this is what it really wants to do. So right here is our retest. Retest, which is super important. I can't say it enough. This is retest. Retesting the area. So we've got our entry. All right. We've got our response. We've got our retest. All right. And you repeat this until you see it exit out. And that's how you don't waste your time when you're trading. So if you want, you can set an alert and you'd say, okay, I want to know when price comes back into this area. So you go, price is the euro New Zealand dollar, crosses the horizontal ray, or you can put value. So price crosses, let's say, just for whatever, you can put 76193 and you put it here, 1.76193, and you put price enters zone. All right. So that's your alert, and it will come to your phone. All right. Price enters zone. Boom. And now you have an alert. So you're not going to just get excited the first time it enters the zone, because you know there's always going to be an entry, response, and retest. At least twice. All right. Entry, response, retest. Entry, response, retest. This time, it did not go in. So you can say to yourself, if I see a candle close above this supply, I'm in it to go. And if you did that trade and you were patient and you waited for it to happen and you entered in your buy right here, you would ride this all the way up to your zone and get 140 pips, a ton of money. What? Boop. All right, so that's what we have here. And I'll also go ahead and put entry so you know exactly where I'm talking about, because I'm telling you, this is where I always struggled, wanting to know, well, where do I enter? So you want to enter in right here. You want to enter right above this candle. Okay. All right. So price is going to close down here. You want to enter in at the high of this candle, because guess what? If price is going to go down, it would never get up here, and then you can put your stop loss right there. All right. So this would be your entry at the high. At the high of the bearish supply candle. All right. This right here. I'll highlight it for you so you know. Boom. And there it is. Then you ride it up. Take this candle for right now and go all the way up here from this point. Boom. To the zone. All right, so that is how you make a confirmation. So in a nutshell, we want to wait for the response. We want to wait for the entry into the zone, then the response, then the retest. Entry, response, retest. At least 1 to 2 times, all right? And that is how you are going to get into the trade at the right time, instead of having to ride it up and down, and it's freaking you out. You just wait for it to retest, and you wait patiently. And it's okay to wait patiently, because I would rather wait patiently than get into a trade that is stressing me out. All right? So I hope that was helpful for you. The next video, I'm going to show you another tip on where to enter different zones. Okay? All right. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be right back.